Personal injury lawyers. It's John Flynn. Beware of the magical leads. Beware of the magical lead generation. Beware of the magical lead generation. The leads that come with the free car. The leads that come with the free cruise. The magical leads, the 100 leads a month. Pay $1 and get 40 leads. Beware of those packages. Okay, it's important to get leads. Okay, sign up with a marketing group or company and you get leads. They're going to scream at you. We have leads, right? And that's what you're looking for, a marketing company. You want leads. You need leads. We all know that, right? That's what we're screaming back at you. We have leads. But be careful, because there's toxic leads, okay? That puts you in a worse situation. Companies that sell you bad packages, right? They sell you like 50 leads and then they'll sign you up and get it for a month. But if we don't get it for a month, we roll your contract over and we have 3 months to get you those leads and we'll charge you up front. So there's a lot of bad companies out there doing bad things. Plus, what's happened is that in order to build a marketing program, you have to do other things than just get you leads, right? Give you an example. What I do is that it's like you build an email program. You make sure that you have conversion tags. You make sure that you get data from Google. Google Analytics and Tag Manager, and you test. You do by keywords on a cheap rate, and then ramp yourself up when you get the data. You get all this stuff together, and you track. Because the more you do the data and the tracking and the testing, down the road, right? Google will allow you to purchase things at a cheaper rate. So you'd be purchasing keywords that are working for you, that are getting to the conversions that you could track with conversion tags at a much cheaper rate than you would if you didn't do all these things, right? And you could throw a little SEO in there. SEO is this large universe. I mean, people like SEO. SEO is like this huge thing. Really good SEO takes at least 6 months. To really sink in. You could start seeing the effects of SEO early in that, but really get really in there. SEO takes like 6 months, but you could start the process of SEO and doing things like that, and Google Maps and stuff like that. But this is what I'm saying. This whole other system that needs to be started while you're getting the leads from them. If you're a personal injury lawyer in a medium-sized city like Atlanta or something, and then starting a Google AdWords campaign, geared for just the Atlanta area, and finding some good keywords and getting your demographic down, and working on that for a couple of weeks, and spitting out a ClickFunnels and doing that, and banging out some good pages. That's not fairly too hard to do, but that's something you could do in order to take a look at what you're doing. But that's making sure you have a conversation with your marketing partner, to make sure you guys are on the same page, and that's what you're trying to do, and explain to you is that yes, that the lead is very important to get that, but also getting the data, getting the tracking, getting all that information and handing it to you and explain to you why this is so very important for you to understand. When I was working with Avis, doing the national recruitment for Avis, one of the things that I set up for a program for them was tracking information in major cities that I was looking for recruitments for their airport locations, and they didn't have really any demographic information of who was really people applying for those jobs. And what happened was that by putting ads out there, I tracked information of who was actually engaging with those ads on. I tagged just mobile phones because that made sense for that campaign. As we all know, the traffic is moving to mobile phones. But when you use Google AdWords, I like to start out with desktop phones because of the engagement thing. That's a whole different conversation. So then using the tracking of the platform I was using, I got it down to early 20 males who worked at fast food restaurants. So what does that mean? So it's like we know that in major cities like Tampa, Orlando, and other areas like that, we knew that people clicking on the ads were males in the early 20s working at fast food restaurants. Well, now I could deliver ads to just that demographic, so we saved a lot of money because we were just dealing with that. So I mean, then we could take whatever platform I was working on, and then if we wanted to use another, say we're using Google now, we could use Facebook ads, and then just gear it towards that and see, run a small, in a sense of not that expensive Facebook campaign, and then see what the click-through rate was and the conversion rate, which is obviously the most important. Cost per conversion obviously is the most important, but and see if how that held up, and then maybe run both at the same time, see how that worked out, and then run different ad groups under both campaigns and see how that holds up. So obviously doing a lot of testing and doing things like that. So as you can see, it's like, yes, we want to get the conversions and we want to get the signups and stuff like that. But in order to do that in an efficient manner that allows us to get better stuff in the future, we want to have the ability to track and do stuff like that. So you want to and not, I mean, there's me, but there's other forward-thinking marketing companies that deal with attorneys that think that way, and there's other companies that just are, want your money and will, rip through a Google program and kind of, back you into it, and, I'll give you a check for $1,000 if I don't get you 40 leads, but what they don't tell you is that they have an opening contract for like 6 months or something. And you're there waiting at your desk, So, be wary. Leads is the game. Conversions is the game. Cost conversions is the game. But don't get into a toxic relationship with a marketing company over leads. Sit down, have a conversation. What's going on? You could join my Facebook group, Marketing for Attorneys online. We have 110 members now. And we have people talk to each other. It's free. I put videos up there all the time, do lives, and then you can talk to each other about this and share your hope, experience, thoughts, and stuff like that. And any questions, you can let me know, and there you are. Thanks. Have a good day. Bye.